Hey everybody, welcome to another episode, I guess, of Chef's Quarantine Diaries. Today is Saturday, April the 11th. For me, it's day 22 now, being home. And I figure it's time to do another cooking segment because that seemed to go over really, really well with y'all. So again, I'm really hoping you guys enjoy this. I'm just trying to have fun with it. And basically, what I'm going to show you guys is what we're doing tonight for dinner. Nothing overly complicated. Everybody goes, "Oh, I bet you guys have, these, first class dinners at the house." No, we eat simple like y'all do. Hat today, of course, got to represent my boys. A little love there for the New Orleans Saints. NOLA, always about NOLA. Shirt today, this is Velvet Sky. Velvet Sky, for those who don't know, is one of my favorite female wrestlers. It has been, even though she's kind of semi-retired right now, though she is doing some work with Ring of Honor. So there you go. And I am going to put on a apron today. I don't normally put on aprons. Of course, got to represent Tabasco. No, they didn't send this to me. We actually bought this. Actually, my wife bought it for me. Yay! But what we're going to talk about today is we're going to break today's episode into 3 mini episodes. And because I don't have the ability or the knowledge or probably even the program to kind of merge all this together, there's going to be 3 small little mini episodes, I guess. The first one, which will probably be the longest, is going to be a lot of the prep work. The second will be the cooking part of it, and the third will kind of be like the finished product. So it's an opportunity, kind of, like I said, to just kind of, enjoy this. Like I said, I'm having fun with this. It is Easter weekend, and of course, last night, for those who joined us, Good Friday service online, which was a lot of fun. So we're going to start with our potatoes. We're going to roast some potatoes today. I'm going to start with some red potatoes. Again, we're not going to be doing anything overly fancy here. Just some basic cuts here. I like using red potatoes. There's nothing. I don't have anything against russets, but there's something about red potatoes. I don't know if it's the flavor. I don't know if it's the consistency. I don't know that to me. Maybe you can do a little bit more with them. I always like to keep the skin on. And even with russets, if I'm just doing a simple baked potato, I personally, when I go to eat, I prefer going skin on. It's just something I've always done, and I can't explain to you. It's funny sometimes because whether here at the house or we're going out to eat, people will sit there and I just go devouring it because I love it. So we're going to take this. We're going to put a little olive oil. If you're not using olive oil, that's okay. You can use just vegetable oil. The type of oil is not that important in this particular instance. But the oil is going to help us in the cooking process. Now, sometimes if I'm doing the potatoes like this, I might use salt and pepper. I might use Creole. I might use, some other real fancy stuff. But today we're going to go real simple. I'm going to use onion soup mix. Main reason is I like the flavor it gives. I like the texture it gives. There's enough salt and all in there that, you don't have to worry about doing salt and pepper on it. So then all we're going to do here is just kind of toss this a little bit. And then we're going to take our pan, put all that on there. We're going to talk about the cooking process part of this later. But again, all I'm going to do there is, again, just get it nicely coated, with the onion mixture, the oil. If I have any concerns, maybe if I don't think there's enough seasoning on it, yes, I might pop some salt and pepper on it. But to be honest, I think that, for most folks, this is plenty of salt and pepper for almost everybody. All right. So these, like I said, we're going to cook these off a little later. But again, just see where we're at so you know what's going on. All right, second thing we're going to work on is the ribs themselves. And we don't have to do a lot of prep work to them, thankfully, but we are going to do a little bit. Now, as I mentioned, these are the kind of the country style ribs. Got these at the local store, you know. So here is my rub. If you ask 5 people about ribs and rubs and all this stuff, you may get 6 different answers. Anything time you're dealing with barbecue of any kind or any kind of rubs and things like that, people are set in their ways when it comes to, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. I'm going to give you, and maybe I'll post this later, but basically the rub I made today is a mixture of brown sugar, paprika, cayenne, celery salt, granulated garlic, onion powder, cumin, some kosher salt, and some pepper. Maybe you have most of that sitting in the house, maybe you don't. To me, I like the element of giving it some sweet heat. That to me is something that I've always been a fan of when it comes to any kind of pork, any kind of quote-unquote barbecuing or grilling. Sweet heat is something that I've always enjoyed personally. So again, as you can see there, I'm putting that on there pretty liberally. You don't want to hold too far back on this. The thing I do like about this rub is that if you put it in a Ziploc container afterwards, it'll last you as long as you need it to. So again, as you guys can see there, we're putting it all over. Now this country style rib, it's not a lot of bone. There is a little bit of bone in it. Some good fat content, which is always, again, good when you're sitting there. Your fat is your flavor, okay? That is a very key component of any kind of cooking. Fat is flavor. And again, as you can see, I'm not going easy on this. I'm putting it in there. Again, you want that nice and covered, so that when we get to the cooking process, it's going to make hopefully a nice little kind of crusty bark on the outside. Now, if you are a serious barbecue smoker, and you got one of those nice smokers at the house, hey, nothing wrong with those. You're going to do this just like you normally would. I don't own a smoker. We're going to grill this. But what I'm going to do is, I'll show you when we get to that point, obviously, which will be in the second segment. No, but again, I love doing ribs. Sauce we'll kind of talk about in the next part of this, because sauce is one of those things that it just depends on you. There are some good sauces out there, out on the market, but it's like anything else. You ask 5 people, you'll get 6 or 7 different answers. It also depends on, from a flavor profile, what you're aiming for, what your goal is there. Because again, there are times that what I might think of as a wonderful combination, it may not be something that you like, and vice versa. Some brands I like, when you can find it. I have to say that nowadays, because Lord knows the way things are, you can't always find everything that you want, it seems like. I like, there's a brand, I don't know if they're still available, but I really like it. It's Joe Horn's Value 87. I really enjoy that. I always have, especially the Cajun. I don't know if it's made anymore, but it used to be John Boy and Billy's grilling sauce. Man, I love that. That's just good stuff. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about sauce in the next part. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our kebabs. You need skewers, of course. What we're going to use is, I'm going to start with a little bit of onion. Now, if you remember the other day when we were doing the onion, I cut this a little different than I'm cutting it today, because I'm not cutting it in the small dice. I'm doing a little different treatment with it, I guess. And that should be more than enough. Alright, a little bit of bell pepper. Now I'm going to start my cut the same way that I did the other day. Take the top and bottom. Again, I'm still going to use this. This is not getting thrown away. it is still, to me, an important part of what we're doing here. So on this bottom piece here, we want nice big pieces. Just like our onion is going to be kind of, a decent sized piece, we want our bell pepper to be a decent sized piece as well. Some other things I'm going to put on these. Not all of them, because this, a little jalapeno. For those of you who know me, it wouldn't quite be me without a little bit of jalapeno involved. There's a couple different ways that you can use to clean jalapenos. The first thing I would say to everybody is this: if you're going to handle a raw jalapeno, normally you want to wear gloves. The reason being is the capsaicin, which is on both the inside and the outside of this, can stick to your hands very, very easily. And the capsaicin is basically what makes peppers hot. Okay, and what ends up happening is, if you're not careful, if you're not washing even if you're washing your hands really, really good, you can cause some issues. There's a story that I like to tell from many years ago that is unfortunately probably not the nicest story to tell in polite company, so I'm not going to do that here. But suffice it to say, if you're not careful, you can cause yourself and others some pain. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay? The point is, you want to wash your hands. You want to scrub your hands anytime you touch anything. Even something, and not just on your super hot peppers, because, I mean, let's be honest, the jalapeno is not a super hot pepper. It's a decent pepper, but it's not super hot. But even some of your milder chilies, you have to be careful, because, again, they can cause you some problems. We're going to put a little tomato on here. So, again, the thought is, I want a nice chunk that'll skewer decently. Now, I've always joked about anytime I've done kebabs, because I used to make fun of folks with it. I don't mean making fun of folks, that's just terrible. But what happens a lot of the time is when people are dealing with kebabs is, I go, well, you're not going to eat it off the skewer anyway, so what's the big deal? But anyway, also we've got some baby portobello mushrooms. I'm going to leave those whole for the most part. Though on some of the maybe a little bigger ones, I might cut those in half. I may not. I don't know. All right, got that. Let's talk about seasoning real quick. When it comes with seasoning poultry, there's a couple different ways you can go with this, none of which is incorrect. It's a matter of preference and taste. What you might like and what I might like may be a little different. But personally, I don't do this with all poultry, but I do it with most poultry. I like to usually make a brine. A brine is a mixture of usually, almost always have salt and sugar in it. It'll start hot water to get that to dissolve, then you'll throw some ice in there to get it to cool, and then you'd soak your chicken overnight or your turkey or whatever. So again, I do not normally handle chicken barehanded, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do so. And these are just some tenderloin, just some chicken tenderloin. Again, we're not going overly fancy. This is all of this is stuff we got here locally here in Etowah County. In fact, I'll tell you that a vast majority of it we bought at Aldi's. Yes, I do shop at Aldi's. I don't apologize for that. There are certain things that I get there. There are certain things that I get elsewhere. The point being is, you shop to me where you find what it is that kind of works for you. And for us, even before all this mess, I've always, not to put down Walmart, but the fact is we're a lot more comfortable shopping at Aldi's. Some of the items that they carry that Walmart does not carry. And don't get me wrong, there's things that they don't carry that Walmart does. I'm not saying we never go to Walmart. What I am saying is, of the two, I'm just fine going to Aldi's. All right, so from a putting this all together, What we're going to do here is we'll just start with a piece of chicken. We also took our skewers here. And something that we did with these is we soak these ahead of time. It's just something that, number one, it will help with the cooking process because they're wet, they're not going to burn as easy. A little bell pepper. Yeah, let's put a little more chicken on here. And pop a little jalapeno on the top. Yeah, nice and colorful. When these cook, all these will be nice. The seasoning we're going to use for this is called Montreal chicken seasoning. I am a huge fan of this. I use this both professionally and personally. It is a product that I think is just superior when you're dealing with poultry. I love it. It is one of my favorite things to use. I've even used it in the brine itself. It just, again, the flavor that it gives is very unique. And quite frankly, I'd rather use that than almost anything when it comes to chicken seasoning. You may have something that you like better. I know, certain other companies put out certain things, and I'm not here to bash those or, sing their praises. I'm just telling you what I like and what works for me. So again, we're going to sit there. We're just going to make a bunch of these up. And then what I'm going to do is once I get them made up, we're going to take that Montreal chicken seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure I get that on again, just to give you an idea so that you guys can see. I'm putting it on everything. I'm not just putting it on the chicken. I want that same flavor profile to be on the bell pepper, on the onion, on the tomato as well. So again, guys, oh, I forgot to put mushroom on there. Good grief. Woo! It's been a day, ain't it? Man, oh man. All right. Pop that on the top there. Come on, there you go. So again, that's what our kebab is going to look like. And again, it's going to be pretty cool because after we cook this, again, they're going to look nice, but more importantly, they're going to taste nice. So anyway, this is pretty much it for video number 1. I got a few more of these to make, as you can see. Video number 2 will be coming shortly, and it may be up because I may end up literally loading them, all together. But the point is, we're going to do more of the cooking aspect during that second one. So we look forward to seeing you then. Again, thank you for watching part 1. Part 2's coming soon. Appreciate you.